Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB wildcard game scheduled for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. If you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet in the MLB, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Wednesday in Major League Baseball. First up, Game 2 between the Tigers and the Astros at 2:20 Eastern or 2:30 Eastern on ABC. Tyler Holton and Hunter Brown are your projected starters. And the Tigers earned a 3-1 victory in Game 1 to take that series lead. They played very well. They're really just one inning of offense. They had those 3 runs in the second inning against Framber, but that's all you need sometimes in the playoffs, especially when you got an ace like Tarek Skubal on the mound and a strong bullpen to back you up. Now, this is an opener situation for Detroit. Holton's a reliever, and I don't expect him to go much more than 2 innings. And he pitched really well in the regular season, a 2.19 ERA. More of a pitch-to-contact guy that had a really good ground ball rate, but didn't really strike out a ton of batters, which is fine. I mean, especially as a lefty. The Skubal, we know he had such great success against Houston. I think pitching the lefty here makes sense. But Hunter Brown on the other side, I mean, for a situation for a team like the Astros where they need a win or their season's over, not too many better options than Hunter Brown. I mean, he had a miserable April, but since then was one of the best pitchers in baseball. He pitched very well down the stretch of the season. And while Detroit's been a great team to watch, and their comeback in the standings and get their chance in the playoffs, this is still an offense that I'm not completely sold on. So I think Brown pitches well. I think the Astros find a win in a low-scoring game. So give me Houston in this one. Next up, we see the Kansas City Royals taking on the Baltimore Orioles. We're going to see a 4:30 Eastern start time on ESPN. Seth Lugo and Zach Eflin are your starters. Now, we saw the 1-0 final score on Tuesday where Bobby Witt Jr., 2-out single. It's all the Royals needed. I mean, Cole Reagans was excellent. Corbin Burns also pitched well, but Reagans went 6 innings of shutout ball. The Royals bullpen took over, didn't really miss a beat. And we mentioned the Royals bullpen was strong in September. They really didn't have any issues in that game. And even the 9th inning, they had a leadoff walk given up, 1, 2, 3 the rest of the way. I do think we see a different story, though, in Game 2. I like the offenses for both of these teams to open it up quite a bit in Game 2, and I like the over. Seth Lugo faced these Orioles at the beginning of the season and struggled quite a bit in that one game. 9 base hits, 4 earned runs, a couple of home runs, and only 1 strikeout. And yes, that was well in the beginning of the season, but I still think when you look at the numbers for the current Orioles hitters against Lugo in their career, it's a small sample size, but they've got great numbers, a very low strikeout rate, at .823 expected slugging percentage. So I think Lugo could be in trouble. And while the Orioles struggled mightily offensively on Tuesday, they faced a lefty starter, one of the best lefties in baseball, and they were not doing well against lefties in September at all. I mean, against righties, they've been top 10 in baseball the last 30 days in OPS and isolated power with a high walk rate to go with it. So I think it's a much better matchup for the Orioles bats, and especially in a must-win situation. I think we see some urgency from that offense. On the other side, we see Zach Eflin, who wasn't great down the stretch of the season. He put together some quality starts, but that last game against the Yankees, it was 5 walks and 3 earned runs, a home run in 4 2/3, and he gave up at least 1 home run in the last 4 games. He had less than a strikeout per inning in the last 4 games. The control was a little bit off. Gave up a good amount of base runners, so I could see the Royals getting to him for a few runs. They also have pretty good numbers, career-wise against him. And in 99 plate appearances for the Royals' current hitters, a 8% strikeout rate, which is very, very low. A low walk rate, but a .502 expected slugging percentage is also pretty steep. And I mentioned I don't really love this Orioles bullpen. It was a little bit shaky in September with an ERA above 5. Give me the over in KC Baltimore. Next up, the New York Mets taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Sean Manaea for New York, no official starter for Milwaukee. I do think the Brewers even up the series and win Game 2. Sean Manaea, they just faced him. They crushed him in that game on September 27th. Manaea was pitching really well for New York, but in that game at Milwaukee at American Family Field, there was 5 earned runs, 6 total runs, 7 base hits, and a home run, only 1 strikeout in those 3 2/3. And you look at the career numbers against Manaea, they're pretty solid for the Brewers' current hitters, a low strikeout rate, high walk rate, pretty good expected slugging percentage. So I think, Milwaukee, they had an inconsistent year against lefties. They weren't necessarily the best against them in September, but they just got to Manaea. It's a must-win game. I still think they're one of the better teams in baseball, and I like their chances to grab a win and make this a very entertaining series. The only problem is this is a Mets team that may not have the best rotation on paper. We've mentioned that a few times, but They're doing what a lot of the teams that make runs in the playoffs need to be able to do, and that's never be out of a game. On Monday, it was a doubleheader. It was game one. They were down 3-0 in the 8th inning. They come back, take the lead. Then the Braves storm all the way back. They take the lead again, and the Mets just don't die. They take the lead again in the 9th inning, and they go on to clinch their playoff spot. On Tuesday in game one of that series against the Brewers, they were down early. It didn't matter, and they earned that 8-4 blowout win. So that's always tough to bet against, but I'm going to lean towards Milwaukee in this game. I think we see a game 3. And the final game we're to talk about for the Wednesday card in Major League Baseball, it's the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres. 8:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Max Fried and Joe Musgrove are your starters. And I took the over in that KC-Baltimore game. I like the under in this game. You could take the under in the full game, but I also think the under in the first 5 makes some sense. The Padres have not been great against lefties in the last month or so, and Max Fried was pitching really well before the end of the regular season. His last start of the regular season, 8 2/3, shutout baseball, 9 strikeouts against the Royals, so just 1 out shy of a complete game. And he had plenty of quality starts along the way in the final month, so I think he pitches really well in this one. Joe Musgrove, he battled injuries at times in 2024, but still put together a sub-4 ERA. He was pitching well before the end of the season. His last game was against the Dodgers. It was a quality start against LA on the road, which is never easy. 6 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. So I look for a low-scoring start, and honestly a low-scoring game in general, but give me the under in the first 5. And that's it. Those are the games for Wednesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and put those baseball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.